Welcome everyone to NoDQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. I am the owner Aaron Rift, here to answer your questions regarding the world of professional wrestling. So let's get right down to it. Do you think The Rock will wrestle at the pay-per-views leading up to WrestleMania such as Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber to get rid of ring rust? Well, right now the big advertisement for Survivor Series is talking about how The Rock will be returning to the ring. Now what does this mean? Does this mean he's going to wrestle again? The way I see it, he'll come out, cut a promo, maybe give somebody the rock bottom, but I would be very surprised if he actually wrestles in a match at Survivor Series, let alone any other pay-per-view before WrestleMania 28. I think it's a very special situation to see his first match be at WrestleMania 28. And I think doing it before that would hurt WrestleMania 28 at least a little bit. I think they should leave it for WrestleMania 20, and if he's going to wrestle more after that, that's fine. But let the big moment be WrestleMania 20, where we finally get to see The Rock back in action. That's what I think is the best way for WWE to go, and that's where I expect them to go. Hey Aaron, do you think Goldberg will return to the WWE? If he does, when do you think this will happen? At this point, I do not expect Goldberg to return to WWE. If he was going to be back, it would have been this year at WrestleMania 27 in Atlanta. But the fact that, he wasn't there, no Hall of Fame, nothing like that, and there was it was somewhat, pretty good rumors out there that he was going to be there, and nothing came of it. So he's made it pretty clear he does not like Vince McMahon. He does not like the WWE corporate machine and how they handled his character. And, that's just the way it is. They're two bulls butting heads, and they don't really get along. They clash. Will Goldberg end up in the Hall of Fame one day? He should be in it, in my opinion. And I know there's some people in WWE, like Triple H and Shawn Michaels, that don't really feel he deserves it. So it could be an uphill battle for him to get into the Hall of Fame. But I'm sure he's not sweating over that or losing a night of sleep because of it. He's just fine doing his own thing. He knows what he accomplished. He knows he has his fans, and I'm sure he's satisfied where he is in life. And, he's not concerned with what WWE is doing at this point. What is your opinion on the Ultimo Dragon, and why do you think WWE dropped the ball on him during his run? Well, let's just say that Ultimo Dragon's opportunities in WWE slipped away. Who stretches the truth the most? Kurt Angle or Hulk Hogan? I actually really like this question a lot. This is one of the best questions I've gotten because it's really difficult to answer. We all know Hulk Hogan likes to stretch the truth with his exaggerated stories, talking about how he body slammed the 700-pound Andre the Giant and tore every muscle in his back. That whole story. And there was like 100,000 people at WrestleMania according to Hogan. He always makes up these crazy numbers. And yeah, Kurt Angle the same, talking about how UFC wants him and he's going to go into the Olympics. And I'm sure in his mind he wants to do these things, but what goes on in his mind and reality are two very different things. And sometimes both Hogan and Angle can get, I guess, just a bit delusional, to put it mildly. So yeah, it's a really tough call, but definitely Angle's learning a thing or two from Hogan, and not just how to cut a promo or get heat from the crowd, you know what I'm saying? If Mike Awesome was still alive today, would he be the one to end The Undertaker's streak in any WrestleMania? In my opinion, he's equal in speed and strength and agility for a man his size. What's your opinion on this? No. Mike Awesome, if he lived, he would probably not be in WWE at all. Just his run in 2001, 2002 was as far as he was going to go. They brought him back for that one ECW pay-per-view. His reputation never fully recovered from the whole ECW incident when he went to WCW as the champion. That pretty much hurt his reputation in the wrestling business. And, WWE did give him a run, but nothing really came out of it. And, yeah, there was pretty much no way they were going to build him up to a level where he would face Undertaker at WrestleMania. It just wasn't going to happen. Hey Aaron, with the professional wrestling companies that have had aired time on television, I wondered Have there ever been a time when a wrestler won the championship belt on a house show? Well, the one I can remember off the top of my head was Kevin Nash beating Bob Backlund at Madison Square Garden right after Survivor Series in 1994 to win the title, and he ended up holding it for a year. So there you go. What's your thoughts on the hardworking Cena myth? Myth? I said he was hardworking. I don't really get it. Just because he keeps saying it in his promos doesn't make it true. I also wonder what time of work he is putting. He can always work on his wrestling ability in promos. John Cena works 300 plus days a year for WWE. He wrestles almost every night, 4 or 5 nights a week. He's constantly on the road doing other things with them, doing media appearances, charity work, the Make-A-Wish Foundations. He does every type of PR deal with, movies, television, all sorts of things. This guy is constantly busy. How can you say he's not hardworking? Just don't even bother with it. The guy busts his ass for WWE and deserves that. Deserves that recognition for his hard work. And if you do not like his character or whatever, the babyface superhero, don't take it out on John Cena. He's just doing his job. WWE is in charge of creative. John Cena just shows up to work to do his job. So it's not right to criticize John Cena for his character because he's just doing what he's paid to do. Bottom line. Forget the TNA title. Do you think Morrison will jump to TNA if they hired Melina? You know what? If TNA hired Melina, John Morrison just might end up in TNA. Never know. What do you think of the whole Raw guest host thing every week? Who is your favorite and least favorite guest host? Well, my favorite guest host of the celebrities would be Bob Barker. He's the one I still remember. He was really entertaining. He didn't bury the product or act like he was above WWE. He came there, had fun. All the wrestlers had a good time. It's just great stuff. My favorite of the wrestling guest hosts would be Jesse Ventura, just because I found it really funny when him and Vince did their little commentary, going back to Saturday night's main event and just, the whole rehash of it, I thought was really funny. The worst guest host would be Jerry McPiven. The Miz will be banned from the Summerfest. And Dr. Ken, oh my God, that was horrible. And the thing is, I like those guys, but they acted like they were so above WWE, and this was like the last place they wanted to be. And it really showed. It was just, oh God, terrible stuff. Oh man, just thinking about it makes me want to puke. Hey Aaron, what do you think about WWE's official announcement of the WWE Network? Besides Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Superstars, and possibly Tough Enough, what other shows do you think will be on the network? Do you think they will have a show for FCW? Well, this is something that's been talked about for months now. WWE finally starting up their own network. It's now been officially announced for 2012. I think it's a good idea if they mostly stick to wrestling because that's what people are going to be tuning in for. People want to see all the old archived WWE footage from their tape library. For me, I'd love to see some of the old Saturday Night's main events, all the old Nitros, and so on and so forth. So as long as WWE sticks mostly in the wrestling realm, I think the network has a good shot of being a success. Now, of course, I'm sure they'll air some of their movies, and they might try to get a few original shows here and there, but if WWE tries to make this a network where it's like 50% like original content, it's not going to be that good, in my opinion. So yeah, I guess we could see an FCW show maybe, but I think it's mostly going to be stuff from their tape library that they're going to air on the network. If you know who, didn't you know what, where would he be in WWE today? My guess is that his career was already starting to wind down when he went to ECW, and I'm guessing he would probably be like some kind of trainer by this point, maybe in FCW. I'm sure that the guys coming up would be a lot better in the ring if he was still alive, for sure, because, he was one of the best, and he could work with these young guys and make them really good. But it's just, very unfortunate. Hey Aaron, this past Raw had a lot of lower card guys like Rex, McIntyre, and Hawkins talking about them having something big. Do you think this is going anywhere or just filler talk? It's just filler. You know, the Raw on this week on the Raw Super Show, it seemed like they were trying to get as many guys on the show as possible. But with so many guys on there, you know, guys like Rex and McIntyre, Hawkins, all these guys, you know, they're just lucky to get any kind of airtime at this point. All right, that about does it for No DQ&A video. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. You can leave a comment on the video. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree with my opinions? And that's it. We'll see you next time for No DQ&A video here on NoDQ.com.